the Butte High Bulldogs meet the Billings Skyview Falcons.
Bolton. No, actually, it's Matt Berg kicking off.
Yeah.
Bolton has been doing some of that with Berg hurt, but Bolton is out. Berg's back in. So the young sophomore will put a toe into it. High kick. It's going to go over to the left side and picked up there at about the 7-yard line, and we got a whistle. He stepped out of bounds.
Ooh.
The official on the far sideline inside the 10-yard line. The return man over there, and right now it's tough to see numbers. You see as he comes off the field, he caught the ball, but the field was slick and he didn't have the opportunity to slow down and stepped out of bounds. Looks like 38 was the return man for the Skyview Falcons, and that would have been Michael Nagayan.
Another thing, you can see how hard the surface is just by how they came down on the, how hard the Butte High came down on the coverage, and Skyview on the return coverage. Everybody was kind of sure, kind of short-footed there.
They give it off to the fullback up the middle on the first play, and bringing it in is Brandon Lycum up the middle, and he's going to be brought down at about the 13. So a gain of about 4. And Fournier, who had a great weekend last weekend, makes the stop for the Butte High Bulldogs. So first play from scrimmage, let's say a gain of 3 will bring up 2nd and 7 for the Falcons. As Connor brings them out, Lebsock under center, fullback behind him. Now he's got a man in motion. He's going to give it to the fullback going the other way as he takes the head into a Bulldog, and he runs into Fellows, and Fellows hangs on to him and drags him down at about the 16. A gain of about 3 more will bring down 3rd and about 3 for the Falcons from the 16-yard line.
And we're seeing, right now, I mean, if you're going to run the wing tee, like especially how well Skyview has ran the wing tee over the years, you have to establish the fullback in the offense. We've seen 2 plays, both off tackle with the fullbacks here. I look for them to come back now. They do a real good job countering, and I look for them to run a counter off the fullback action right now, Ron, but it's going to be interesting to see if they can make their cuts.
Well, see, as we go here is a officials back in the huddle with the Falcons, fixing somebody's helmet there. Now they get ready. They wind the clock. 3rd and 3 from the 16. Opening drive of the first period here as Skyview Falcons touch the ball first. Bulldog defense set. Falcons come out. 3 across in the backfield. They're going to give it to the fullback up the middle. Trap play, and he's going to be close, maybe short. We'll see the spot. Looks like he may get it from the spot on the outside. The guy in the middle says no. He brings it back a yard. Be 4th and about a yard, and more than likely a punting situation when you're down inside the 20, about the 18-yard line. They're going to bring in a play.
Oh, yeah, they're going to go for it here. And I mean, it doesn't surprise me because the fullback has, it has 3, 3, and 2.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the old philosophy: 3 yards or 4 yards in a cloud of dust to win you football games. But I still think they probably counter off this.
Big play, 4th and 1. Lebsock brings him out. And they're going to give it off to the fullback going the other way, and he's not going to get it. The Bulldog defense holds. We'll wait for the spot now that the outside spot has it. He'll have the first down out near the 20. We'll see where they spot it on the inside. And it looks like he's going to be short.
I think it's pretty close. I think he might have got it forward progress the way they spotted it.
Boy, what a great play, though. They're marking the ball. The official marks the ball, and they're going to say first down. They did. First down. He got it. Boy, I was watching the guy on the outside, and on our side, and it looked like he had it. But the guys in the middle, when they came into the pile, looked like they had it spotted back a yard.
That's a gutsy call.
Oh, boy.
It's a big game. This is a big game for Billings Skyview where they're sitting. There's 3 or 4 way tie there for, for playoffs positionings. And it's a game that Skyview needs to win. They need to get this win. And that's a big call this early in the game.
Well, Lycum has to come out. His helmet broke on the play. He's on the sidelines getting his helmet repaired. And coming in to replace him will be his backup, Hilliard. And we have a whistle and a stop. Skyview won a timeout. They had a lot of confusion out there, so they took a quick timeout. We'll take one as well. It's scoreless, 9:26 to play in the first here in Butte. We'll be back in 60.
Flag. Big play flag.
And welcome back as we get a substitution in the game for it's number 36, Carson Hilliard. But before he can get anything going, flags fly and they stop the play. And we'll march it back. Skyview waiting for the call here against the Falcons. False start on Skyview, so going to be 5-yard penalty on Skyview back to the 15. We'll bring up a 1st and 15 for them as they had a big play too, Rick. It looked like Hilliard was going to go for pay dirt on that one.
Well, they came off like a little. I've heard they were running a little more option, come more of a counter option out of the wing tee offense, and it was a big hole off tackle there.
Here we go. They're going to bring guy in motion again. Going to run the same play. They give it to the fullback again. Hilliard comes out. A good job. And a fumble. Loose ball on the ground. And I don't know if the Bulldogs have it, and they do. Butte High School has the football and coming up and filling the spot there and doing a good job. Looked like Coleup.
Yeah, it was Blake Coleup, 31.
No, 46.
And the recovery.
46, is it? It's a 6.
And for the Bulldogs getting the coverage out there will be Cole Tripp, the defensive end. So Tripp gets the recovery, but Coleup came up from the outside linebacker and put his helmet right on the football.
Made a great hit.
And the Bulldogs will have it at about the 19. So Butte High Bulldogs with Matt Berg at quarterback come out. They'll split 2 to the right. Man in the backfield is Hewlin. Tight to the left. I believe is Leba. They're going to pitch it. Back they go to toss sweep. They're going to kick it back to Hewlin. He's going to get down to the 15, a gain of about 4, maybe 5.
And a good play, for Butte High to start off. Traditionally, we've seen Butte High start off throwing the football. I like that call. Toss sweep right there to Mike Hewlin. I think Butte High has to establish a running game in the weather conditions. Plus, it's a tendency that they haven't been able to do for the last couple of weeks, with the injury to Hewlin. Great call by Butte High there.
Ezekiel Concepcion comes up and makes the stop from the right corner position, but the Bulldogs get 4 to bring up 2nd and 6 from the 15 after the turnover by the Skyview Falcons. Bulldogs pitch it going the other way out to Hewlin. Hewlin gets a block, gets around the corner down to about the 11, maybe the 12 I think is where they're going to spot it, and that'll make it a 3rd and about 3 for the Bulldogs on another carry by Hewlin. Another toss sweep just the other way.
Just same play the other way.
And again, it was a corner coming in. Mike McGuinn who makes a stop. Mike McGuinn comes up, the junior, number 38, 5'9", 145-pounder. And the Bulldogs are going to 3rd and 3 at about the 12-yard line of the Falcons. Just underway first quarter here on KBOW in Butte and KMZK, 1240 a.m. in Billings. And another handoff to Hewlin up the middle. He gets first down. He's in the 5, into the end zone, touchdown. 12 yards out, Mike Hewlin follows his big guys up front as he gets in behind Zach Gleason, Riley Masters, and Mac Furco, and they just pushed him through all the way, 12 yards for the score.
It was a great job by Butte High's offensive line there. Ran kind of like a draw trap. They based it off of the toss sweep. You notice how he tossed it back versus and tossed it back, but they just ran it inside there. Kind of caught Skyview off guard with the play action. Touchdown.
So Bulldogs get the first blood here after the fumble by the Skyview Falcons at the 19-yard line. And the Bulldogs, Matt Berg, will go for the point after. The snap is back, the hold is down, the kick is blocked, no good. So the Bulldogs are blocked, and it will be 6-0 with 7:55 to play here in the first quarter. Bulldogs lead. We'll be back with the kickoff after this 1-minute timeout. And back at Bulldog Memorial Stadium as the kickoff goes back to the end zone, it looked like from here, and probably shouldn't have been returned, but they brought it all the way back out to the 40 as Skyview gets a good return by Mike Nguyen. Nguyen brings it all the way out. It's at the 39-yard line where it'll be 1st and 10, so good field position for the Skyview Falcons on the return by Nguyen.
I'm really surprised Butte High is not arguing that return because, it went in the end zone, Ron. You can't return the ball in high school.
You're not supposed to bring it out. Here we go. They're Lebsock's going to hand it off. The man going around on the counter, and he's going to get a yard maybe. And on the carry was Nguyen. After that big return, they bring him in on the side. He was the right halfback, and he gets nailed by Weitzel as he goes around the right side. So Weitzel steps up. No gain. Will bring up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, it was a good play by Marco. Stay at home. The play action went away with him. Established a fullback. They came back around counter sweep back at him. But again, you can see the cutting problem out there. The halfback had a heck of a time cutting the ball.
Man of motion off to the fullback. They go. They give it to the big guy. Firing ahead for a gain of about 6. It looks like a nice carry by Lycum as he makes a carry. And that last scoring drive for the Bulldogs, it came on the fumble by the Skyview Falcons. Bulldogs got the ball on the 19-yard line. It was all Michael Hewland as he carried to the final one, 12 yards to pay dirt with 7:55 to go in the quarter. The block, kick after block, 6-0. Bulldogs lead it. Right now, 3rd and about 3. They're going to give it to the fullback again, and he's going to be close to a first down, maybe just a little short. And Lakem with the carry and coming up and putting a pop on him It was Fellows who came up from that outside linebacker to put a
Yeah.
pop on him.
And what we were talking about pregame, it's very important that Butte High School's linebackers have a good game to stop the wing T play actions. And right to this point, they're answering the call.
We're going to have a timeout for a measurement here. You know, and this week, Coach Gray for the Butte High Bulldogs actually called out his kids. He said it's time for them to compete. We've taught them, we've worked them. Now the kids need to step up. They need to compete, and the kids right now have responded to that.
Yeah, they have. And that's something that all coaches have to do occasionally. I mean, especially when you come in the season and you're 0-6, and there comes a time you got to suck it up. And they're responding to that challenge right now.
Well, it brings up fourth and about a yard, not even, maybe 2 feet. And so the Falcons are going to go for it. And you would if you went for it down on the 18.
Yeah.
You might as well go for it out here, as it's first and a couple of feet. Lebsock is going to take it himself. He gets it easy. He gets all the way to the 50. He'll get a gain of about 2 yards. And Connor Lebsock dives ahead for the squad for the first down for the Falcons, right at midfield, as the Falcons starting to, that fullback popping. Eventually he's going to set up some outside stuff, but the conditions here kind of take that a little bit away.
Well, we saw it on the second down play where they ran the counter off there, and Marco Wetzel made a nice play on it. But the big thing was that they pull a guard on that, and the halfback had a heck of a time making his cut up field. So that's just field conditions.
First and 10. Connor puts a man in motion. He's going to keep him. He's going to look to throw as Lebsock rolls out. Now he's going to tuck it down and go. And Lebsock's going to get it into Bulldog territory, down to the Bulldog 42-yard line. And he's going to be wrestled down out there by Fellows as he comes out and brings him down. But as a quarterback, he rolls out. He wanted his fullback, and the Bulldogs had it covered.
Well, the big thing is I look for them to come back to that play here within the next 2 or 3 plays. Reason why is because the backside tight end came off the line uncovered. I mean, he's wide open, and I'm sure the coaches from Skyview picked that right up.
Well, we'll see when they come back to it. So it looks like second and about 3 for the Falcons at the Bulldog 43 is where they spot it. Lebsock brings him out. Like him behind him. He has his 2 guys split. He's going to give it to his fullback. And a fullback's going to get caught from behind and dragged down for a loss of about a yard. And Bolton comes through and Fellows comes through. Zach Bolton came in on a safety blitz, and Fellows came with him. And they got the fullback for a loss of about a yard out to the 44.
Yep.
Bring up a 3rd and 4.
Zach's got to be careful there. With the play action that Skyview will run on the bootlegs. Now he's sitting back to our strong safety. You got to be a little cautious on coming that hard on the run. But paid off for him there. But like I said, I'm looking for Skyview to come back to the bootleg here within the next couple plays.
Well, it's snowing hard. The wind's blowing hard. It's cold down there, and it's 3rd and 4. They're going to put a man in motion. Quarterback steps back. Here comes the bootleg. He drops back. He has a little pressure, and they're going to get to him, and he bounces off of the 50. Lebsock won't go down. The Bulldogs finally get to him at about the 49, but Connor Lebsock would not go down, and the Bulldogs just kept hitting him and finally got him right at midfield. Bring up a 4th and 10 from the 50. And Coach Ron Lebsock sends in his punting team.
Well, another thing, I think the punting is consideration with the wind, too. Skyview's going into the wind here, and I don't know how we haven't seen a punt yet. We don't know how good a punter he's got, but the wind is blowing quite hard, and we'll look for a long count here at midfield.
Well, as you say that, the wind calms down a little bit. Leyba, now we got a whistle and a stop here. Leyba standing back, waiting for the ball.
Delay game.
No, the center moved the ball.
Did he move?
Center moved the ball. So it's penalty against the Skyview Falcons, a 5-yarder. And it'll take it back to the 45. False start on the center. So we go back to the 45, and they'll kick it from their side of the 50 now. And Leyba still stands at the 20 and waits the kick. Bulldogs look like they're bringing everybody. Leyba stands there alone. Wind picking up right into the punter's face. He gets the kick away. It's a low line drive. Leyba's going to take it just at about the 21. He tries to dodge, and he's going nowhere. They're taking him down about the 25. No flags, and that's where the Bulldogs will have it at the 25-yard line, leading in this ball game 6-0 with 3:35 to play here in this first quarter. And Rick, so far, the Bulldogs and the Falcons have been mostly run. Bulldogs have been living on the pass. They're going to try to go to that here. Do you stay on the ground with success?
Well, I think you stay with what got you in the end zone. We had 3 carries for 19 yards on the first drive. Stay with it, but I do look for them to throw the ball a little bit. They got the wind to their back. They're going to lose that here in another 3 minutes.
Matt Berg under center. He's going to hand it off, and he does, and it's Hewlin over the right side. And Hewlin's going to go ahead and fumble, lost ball, and they're going to say Skyview. The kids are saying Skyview has it.
Yep.
And they do. Hewlin fumbles the ball on the first play for the Bulldogs at the 27-yard line.
I believe 84 recovered.
And it was recovered out there, we believe, for the Skyview Falcons, number 84, Stephen Davis, 6'6", 220-pound defensive lineman. So Davis comes away with the fumble recovery, and both teams now have fumbled the ball.
Inside the red zone.
Inside the red zone, exactly. Ball at the Bulldog 27. It would have been about a 3-4 yard gain for Hewlin, but he left the ball behind, and the Falcons set up housekeeping in Bulldog territory. And a timeout called by Skyview. Falcons are going to have to take a timeout with 3:29 to play here in the first quarter. 6-0 the score. The Bulldogs leading. Will be back in 60. Back to Bulldog Memorial Stadium on KMZK and KBOW. 6-0 Bulldogs lead it with 3:29, and the Falcons have it. First play after the Bulldog turnover. They hand it to their fullback. He's going to dive ahead, getting it down to about the 25 for a gain of 2. And it was Leakum with the carry.
Fellows on the hit.
I'll tell you right now, that right side of the offensive line is the only side that's really getting worked much here. Roberts, Berry, and Clayton doing the job on the right side of that line.
Surprised Skyview hasn't ran some option yet.
And they're going to hand it off up the middle again. They give it to Lycum again up the middle, and I'll tell you what, they set up the option. And the Bulldogs on the dive, the fullback sniff it out. And again, it was, I believe, Fournier who was there. No gain. Bring up a 3rd and about 8 for the Skyview Falcons. That time they went to the left. All along they've been going to the right where they've had their success.
Yep.
The Falcons ran to the left that time and really didn't have any place to go.
No, and I mean, it's, again, it's field conditions. They haven't been able to run there. They're traditionally a counter team. Here we got option coming off here, speed quarterback option all the way.
And the quarterback gets reached for. They miss him, and he's going to roll the corner and get it down close to a first down. I'll tell you, Connor Lebsock went around that corner, and the defensive line in down there let him get outside, and it was over.
Yeah, they ran it off like an option play, but I think it was more a quarterback sweep, just called all the way. The way Connor came off, he tucked the ball as soon as he was making the turn.
Exactly.
And, they're going to, and he's, from what I haven't seen Connor play at the varsity level, but everybody's talking about how good an athlete he is, and I look for them to put the ball in his hands. I mean, with the conditions, Ron, they're just not going to get the counter plays off tackle like they like to get in the wing tee because of the field conditions.
Oh, he didn't. He got out of bounds about 2 yards shy, so we'll call it 4th and 2 from the 20. Here they come, going on 4th down for the 3rd time. Lebsock going to drop back to pass. He drops back all the way. He's going to try to roll it out. He gets some pressure. Now he gets rid of the ball, and it's almost picked off. And it will go to the Bulldogs on downs. And that was a little sophomore boo-boo. And he would have gone down way short of the first down, so he tried to make something happen, and the only one in the area was a Bulldog, and it bounced off the Bulldog.
And they're reading that. They're throwing a ball, but he also has a green light to run the football there. I think when he decided to run the ball, he kind of got tripped up there in the backfield and lost his footing, and then decided to kind of panic, threw the ball up, and really was nobody there where he was throwing at.
Well, the Bulldogs will have it at the 19-yard line on down, so the fumble by Hewlin didn't harm them, and they just lost a few yards. So at the 19, 1st and 10, Hewlin in the backfield. Berg drops back to pass. Berg throws it off. He has it on the outside. Does he make the catch? No. On the ground to Leba. Would have been good for about 3-4 yards, but incomplete. Will bring up 2nd and 10. And a short drop. I almost thought Berg was going to run from there because he dropped back quick and started forward.
Well, I know one thing Butte High School has really felt, talking with the coaches, that they've been trying to home run too much the last couple of weeks, and that's kind of par for the course because of what happened to them in the second quarter down there against Helena High, you know. But they wanted to go back to the short passing game. I think that was the reason why they gave the green light to Matt Berg tonight, and that's the emphasis they want to do: short passing game, run the football.
Well, Hewlin does a good job running the corner that time. He got a good block out in front of him as his tight end, Keaton Lappin, led the way out over the 25. Down to just about the 26-yard line. Will bring up 3rd and long 2 for the Bulldogs. On the stop was Nathan Party and Garrett Burgum for the Falcons. So the Bulldogs looking at 3rd and long 2. They get set. Gonna pitch it. Nope.
Fake toss.
Fake toss. They go out to the side. They have it to the receiver for the first down. He's down at the 30. And is that Barnett?
Lucien.
Lucien?
Yeah.
Lucien was a guy underneath, and he'll get the first down just over the 30-yard line.
And a good call. They play action off the toss. We've seen them. Yeah, we've seen Butte High establish the toss on the first series that took them in the end zone. The first 2 plays were toss right, toss left. They faked the toss there and hit Lucien out on the flat.
Penalty against the Bulldogs.
Holding.
I don't know what they signaled. I couldn't see it. Ineligible receiver downfield, it looked like. It is.
Yep.
So the Bulldogs would have had a first down, but instead will bring it back to the 21-yard line and be 3rd and 9 for the Bulldogs. Now 3rd and 8. So the ineligible receiver downfield, and the Bulldogs looking at 3rd and 8. And they bring it out of the shotgun. Berg standing back there with Hewlin. Berg gets it, rolls out to the right, kicks it off to his receiver, but the receiver's motion is going to take him out of bounds. It was Lucien. He couldn't turn it up, and he's going to go out of bounds at about the 27. It'll be 4th and about 1, maybe 2.
Had a good play set up there, with the out route with Lucien from the number 3 receiver there. But again, that's field conditions. Same problem Skyview's having turning up the counter plays. We just had a problem turning the ball up on the out route right there.
So the Bulldogs will have to punt it away as Bolton will stand back at about the 13. Falcons ready for the return. Standing back deep for them, I believe it's Mike McGuinn. Bolton gets a snap, gets a kick away. It's not going to really go too far, and McGuinn comes up and doesn't fair catch it.
That's a penalty.
He didn't call a fair catch, did he?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. He waved his hand. He did.
They did throw the flag after the fact.
Yeah, he waved.
I didn't see him wave it. But I was watching the ball. So
he waved it. He came up. He was waving on the upcome. So that's a call.
So the ball's at the 45 where the tackle was made, but there's going to be a penalty for the fair catch. So we'll see what the officials are having a little conference call out there. I'm listening to Butte High coaches in their booth saying he didn't put his hand above his head, and the Skyview guys are screaming, yeah. So both teams.
Well,
they got it. We'll see.
I saw it. I think he was waving. He was coming up on waving on the run up to the ball.
Now they're talking to a captain from Butte High School. 5-yard penalty for illegal something. Did you get it? Delay of game?
That's what he said.
That's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
5-yard penalty against the Falcons.
No, that's what he called.
Wow.
Yeah, delay a game.
Delay again.
Well, the only thing he called delay a game on is by him not getting his hand above his head. But I clearly saw him waving. I mean, his hand was above his face mask, waving for the fair catch. If he doesn't do that, if he waves it low, then that is a delay a game.
Well, they call him. I'm kind of shocked myself, along with everybody listening in Billings right now. But still, the ball at the 40-yard line, and it is Skyview football. As Lebsock brings him out, he's going to give it to his fullback up the middle, and he just gets in behind the big horses, and he's going to fire out to the 45, over the 45 to about the 46. And I'll tell you what, off the bottom of that pile for the Skyview Falcons, I got a young man who did a great job blocking there. Number 52 for Skyview was Jacob Berry, 5'11", 205-pound sophomore, and he led that for 9 yards. Out to the 49-yard line. First or 2nd and 1. Now they're going to give it to the fullback the other way, and he's got a big hole. He's still on his feet. He's down into Bulldog territory, over the 40, down to the 36-yard line, and that's where it's going to be a first down for the Skyview Falcons as they give it to the big back, and I'll tell you, he's a handful.
Yeah, you notice, their change up here now. Skyview is basically running everything out of counter action. Now it's all counter dive. They've established Connor a few times off the counter action, running the sweep in the perimeter, and we're kind of widening on the perimeter, and that's allowing their fullback to come open and off tackle.
Here come the Falcons out of the huddle. Lebsock puts a man in motion. He's going to give it to the motion man around the end. He to the 25. The penalty is going to bring it back out to the 42. As we were looking for Nick Dodge, and I didn't see any yellow on the carpet. Did you?
I think they probably just two guys in motion at the same time, I think, is what we got called on.
Well, that's the end of the first. The Butte High Bulldogs leading 6-0 over the Skyview Falcons. We'll be back with a second after this timeout.
22 is...
I'm going to pull up my roster because I keep goofing up.
I'll think of it here.
22 is Nick Dodge.
Nick Dodge.
So Nick, who started at corner, now we got an illegal motion on the Falcons, and that moves the ball back. So instead of all the way down Line up to punt it away with 4th and 3. They get good snap. Bolton gets the kick away. The return man goes over and takes the grab at about the 32, 33-yard line with a fair catch. And it will be 1st and 10, Skyview with 14.8 to go. And the ball at about the 33-yard line. So they got a ways to go. And if you're Ron Lepsock here, you just go to the locker room down 6-0, you take a couple shots.
Well, I don't know. I really think we're on to run the football. It's hard to say. I think Butte High, look for Butte High to drop back and prevent, which they're going to. You can see their safeties now are almost 20 yards back. It's a good opportunity just to run the football or, I don't know, flip a coin.
Well, Lepsock will line up in the shotgun, splits 3 to the left. And he is going to roll to the left. So Lepsock drops back. He gets a little pressure. He cuts it back the other way. Lepsock's going to run for a bunch. He's out over the 40. He's out to the 50. And he's going to be knocked out of bounds right at midfield at about the 49-yard line. And he'll get out of bounds with 6.1 seconds left right at midfield. So a nice gainer there for Lepsock as he gets about, 17 yards.
He'll do it again.
And he actually rolled to the left. But when he took off running, he went right and found a lot of room over there.
Yeah, he went because their formation, they came out trips left, and they were going vertical all 3 down the field, tight to their side. Connor made the right choice and took the ball right side.
Same thing this time, 3 to the left here towards us. One man in the backfield, the fullback tied in on the top of the screen. They kick the ball back to the quarterback. Lepsock's going to roll out. He's got some room. He's got a little pressure now by the Bulldogs. Lepsock's going to run. He's going to go out of bounds at about the 48 as the clock runs out. So we'll go to the locker room here at halftime with the Butte High Bulldogs on Silver Bee Night out in front of the Skyview Falcons 6-0. I think it's the first lead at halftime for the Bulldogs this season. Yeah. We'll talk about it at halftime after this 2-minute break. Barnett standing back at about their 5-yard line, waiting for the kick, and doing the kicking chores is going to be Caden Facer, 6 foot, 175-pound senior. Facer's going to get ready to kick it off. As the teams are set, they wait for the official to give them the wave. Here's the whistle, and we're ready to go with the second half. Bulldogs leading 6-0. As the second half, a good kick high in the air, going to be taken by Leba at about the 10. Leba gets a wedge over to the right side, gets around one tackler, gets stuck up. Now he breaks free from that. Leba's still on his feet, another block. Leba's still going. He's at the 50. He's at the 40. He's down to the 30. He's going to be taken out of bounds at about the 20. And I didn't see a flag down there. I think we're looking to see if there's going to be a flag, but I haven't seen any. And if it isn't, Bulldogs will have it down inside the 30-yard line of the Skyview Falcons.
69-yard return.
69-yard return. And they actually had Leba back at about the
Missed
25
tackles.
and
Yep.
missed a tackle. And they're going to have the ball spotted down at about the 23-yard line officially. So a big return by A.J. Leba gives the Bulldogs a short field here to start this quarter as the Falcons just a couple missed tackles. Berg under center. He's going to hand it off. It's going to be Hewlin. He cuts to the outside, and he's not going to get much. Good job filling on the outside by the Falcons. And I'll tell you what, they didn't waste much time there, Rick, as that defensive end on the outside down there, I believe it was Harmon and Prevost. Justin Prevost, the big kid, came in and made the tackle.
Yeah, and Skyview's doing what we thought they'd do at halftime. They've jumped back into their base defense here. You can see now that they're playing with a 50 front, 5-2, and they're playing cover 2 behind it. They're going to stop the running game.
Right now, there's wide open receivers out here uncovered for the Bulldogs, but they're going to pitch it to Hewlin, and Hewlin's going to get back to the line of scrimmage and get back to the original line. He'll be looking at a 3rd and 10 as there's a quick pitch to Hewlin. And again, in there for the Falcons is number 54, Sam Holt, and also there was Nathan Party.
If what Butte High could do is, the biggest thing right now is they need to play action it. If you play action it right now, basically Skyview sacrificing coverage to stop the running game.
Well, now they come out of it on 3rd and long.
Yep.
And they go back to they're looking like they're running the 3-man front here. And Berg will go out of the shotgun. Berg with time.
Picked.
Gets a pass off, and it should have been picked. It was tipped by somebody. If it wasn't tipped, it would have been an interception because it was going right towards Burgum. And Burgum would have had it, but one of his guys in front of him, and I believe it was Prevost, got a hand on it and tipped it. So the Bulldogs are going to set up for a field goal attempt. With the ball being spotted at the 30-yard line, Matt Berg is going to try to kick it from there.
47 yards.
And a strong, strong wind at his back.
How much?
40 yards.
40
They're
yards.
at the 25, 40 yards.
Snaps down. Kick is up.
Might have
It's
got it.
plenty of toe. It's good. It's good. Matt Berg with a 40-yard field goal, and the Butte High Bulldogs start out the second half by putting 3 more on the scoreboard to make it 9-0. So the 40-yard field goal on the opening drive after A.J. Leba's big return on the opening kickoff, and the Bulldogs get 3. And if you're Butte High, you got to be tickled with that.
Well, it's big, number one, against a team that traditionally runs a football, you know. I mean, it's going to force Skyview now to open it up a little bit. They've got to come back and get a quick score pretty early. You know, the way that both the teams are running the football, the clock is moving pretty fast tonight.
Yeah.
Right?
Both teams, we said we'd be out here in an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, the way they run the ball. So the Bulldogs get 3 on the 40-yard field goal. A big kick by Matt Berg, and Berg will kick it off here. The ball spotted at the 40. So the Butte High Bulldogs get 3 to start the half, leading 9-0. As the Falcons get ready to receive the kick, they have 2 men back at about the 5-yard line. I believe Connor Lebsock, is he one of them?
You know, I have a heck of a time reading their numbers.
I can't see their numbers very well.
35 is the guy on the
So here's the kick. Matt Berg high in the air. It's going to float, and it's going to go to the right side and into the end zone. So it'll come out to the 20-yard line, and that's where it'll be 1st and 10 for the Skyview Falcons, trailing the Butte High Bulldogs 9-0.
That's a big field goal right now. This point in this, you know, in these weather conditions, that's a big 3 points right there. And set up off of special teams. Nice kickoff return.
Well, A.J. Leba with the big return set it all up. Now the Falcons and Mr. Lebsock, Connor will bring them out. He'll need to get something going here as the ball's set at the 20. And they've had the success with their big back. Leakham's gone over the top for 74 yards. They'll line 3 up together in the backfield, and they're going to give it to the fullback. And he's going to take it again for a gain of about 3, as he's going to get it out to about the, well, he might have got more. He might have got 5. He did, out to the 25. He had first contact at about 3, and he just took the pile for 2 more.
But I think Skyview right now, you know, because of losing their perimeter game because of field conditions, I mean, they're way behind their average, you know, if they're, you know, for being
229 yards a game.
Yeah.
So here they come. 2nd and 5 for Connor Lebsock. Puts the man in motion. He's going to give it to his fullback again. Big hole this time. Lincoln's going to dive ahead out to the 35. He gets chopped down by Barnett, the free safety, but he's going to go to the 35 for a big first down and a gain of 10.
You know, and it looks to me like they're gonna, you know, they're looking to run a more inside game because, you know, now that they're kind of more out of the spread wing T formation. They're in a 2 tight full house backfield. You know, 3 guys straight across the backfield. You can see them here lined up, and again, which really opens up the ISO, the power, the inside counter games. Probably look for Connor to run the perimeter off some play action.
They're just going to give it to the fullback again, and he cuts it inside, and Kolop takes him for a ride down to about the 40 for a gain of 5, and just keep giving it to their big back. And they're going to give him a gain of 4. They're going to bring him back to the 39. But you got to be pretty impressed with the running of Connor Lakem. He's a 5'10", 200-pound senior.
Really, you know, Ron, the formation of Skyview's running full house backfield. I'm surprised Butte High School hasn't basically given him a 9-man front. You only got 2 guys who can go vertical on you. That's the 2 tight ends. Here they are again. They're in a full house backfield. We don't need all 4 of these guys sitting back here.
They're going to run it outside. They do the play action, and Lebsock tries the pitch. He pitches it after the fact. The ball's on the ground, and the Butte High Bulldogs are going to get it. Lebsock's pitch man didn't keep his position, and when the tight end jumped out, or the defensive end stepped up, he threw the pitch, and there was nobody there. And the Bulldogs are going to recover it, and I'm not really sure which one of the dogs came out of there because there was a whole passel of them. They're going to say Fournier is a guy. Fournier getting credit for it. And the Bulldogs recover the fumble at the 32. But again, the pitch man
outran the pitch.
He got in front of his quarterback.
He's got to stay in relationship with the quarterback, you know, and he didn't. He got out in front of him, and Connor pitched the ball back. Nobody was there. Butte High recovers a fumble.
The quick pass out in the flat. The Bulldogs get it out there. It's complete to Leba. He's going to get brought down at about the 28.
I think it's Lappin.
It was Lappin.
Yep.
And it was the tight end who catches the ball out there.
He's got to take that outside because that's, you know, that's a screen route. That's a swing screen. You see the inside receiver came in and makes a block. You know, I think Keaton just turned it up too early. It looked to me like if he would have got outside, he might have had some running room.
We got 4, so it'll bring up 2nd and 6 for the Bulldogs. At about the 28-yard line of the Falcons after the fumble. Under center, Berg. He's going to hand it off. Euland's going to try to get outside, but I'll tell you, great defensive play for the Skyview Falcons and getting down there and making the stop. Big number 54 for Skyview, and that's Sam Holt. And the big tackle came inside and caught him from behind, and he does that thing you call, Rick, following the heels.
Yeah, you got to play the heel line, you know. And he, Sam's a veteran. I mean, I remember calling his name quite a bit last year, and you know, he does a good job playing the line of scrimmage, and that's the key, put defensive line play.
3rd and 5 for the Bulldogs after the big play by Holt. On 3rd and 5, out of the shotgun, Berg, quick pass out in the flat. He overthrows his man. He had his receiver, overthrows him, incomplete. It'll bring up a 4th and 5, and do you try to kick it again?
I mean, he had a lot of leg there. I think they're going to try it.
Looks like they're lining up for it as they already have a 40-yard field goal. This one's going to be spotted at the 35, and this would be a 45-yard field goal, 44. They're going to spot it at the 34, so a 44-yard field goal by the sophomore, Matt Berg. He already has a 40. Snap is down. Kick is up. There's the flags flying. And the kick, they're not going to say if it's good or not because flags flew before they kicked it away.
Dead ball foul.
Dead ball foul. The kick looked good from here. But if the penalty's on Skyview, it's a first down. And it is on the Skyview. Encroachment on the defense. 5-yard penalty. Should be a first down, or is it close?
It's close.
Still 4th down. So they're about a yard shy. But the Bulldogs bring their offense back in. And I'll tell you what, I'd like Berg kick again.
I think I'd kick the field goal again, too. I think he had points on the board. He made the last one. He just, the dead ball foul. It looked to me like it was good. I mean, I think you just kick it through again and go up 13.
Instead, they're going to come out and go for it on 4th and 1. They split 2 to the top, 1 to the bottom. Alone in the backfield is Euland. On the left side is an up back.
They're running ISO right here.
Is the tight end.
Right there.
And here comes. No,
Boot.
They fake it. Bootleg. He kicks it off. He's got his receiver open, and it's got down to about the 15, 14-yard line.
Levi
Lusheen makes the grab down to the 14. So the Bulldogs needed 4 and 1. Instead, they got a bunch more, and they get all the way down to the 14-yard line. And it is a play-action pass.
It was a great call. Great call by Butte because they lined up and traditionally what they run ISO off. They ran ISO boot there. They faked that. They faked, the way they run. They've been pitching the ball. Mike running the ISO. Booted off. Nice call by Butte High.
14-yard line, 1st and 10, Bulldogs. 3 to the left. They're going to give the ball off to Euland going right. Euland finds a little bit of a gap. Mike Euland still on his feet. He's down over the 10, down to about the 6-yard line. As Mike Euland did a good job just being slippery there. As it looked like from behind, Harmon finally brought him down, but from behind, Burgum and Party were both chasing him. Looked like they're going to get him.
Yeah, and the one thing we've seen the last time they run a series down here, inside here, I mean, I'd like to see him come back to toss sweep left right here because I think Mike could take it in.
Well, 2nd and about 3 for the Bulldogs.
Run zone left
to the
here.
4-yard line for a first down. And they're going to give it to Euland, and I'll tell you, great defensive play. Knifing through on the blitz, coming through hard. Big number 50, and that's Garrett Burgum from the linebacker, and he throws Euland for a loss all the way back out to the 10-yard line. And that's a big defensive play there.
Yeah, it's a nice play by that young man.
Burgum doing a good job. It's going to bring up 3rd and about 6 for the Bulldogs. So the Bulldogs will bring in a play. Looking at 3rd and 6. Leading here for Butte High 9-0 with 5:49 to play in the 3rd quarter. Yes, it is a fast football game. Out of the shotgun. 3rd and 6 for the Bulldogs at the 10-yard line of the Falcons. Taking the snap. Berg's going to have time. He's going to try to run it, and he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe to the 9. And he didn't see anything and right away ran up the middle, and a good job of filling in and stopping him. And it was Holt again, Sam Holt coming in. And the Bulldogs are going to look at 4th and about 5, so they're going to bring in Berg to kick the field goal. 26-yard field goal attempt for Matt Berg. Snap is back, hold is down, kick is up, and it looks good, and it is. So Matt Berg makes it 3 more for the Bulldogs with 5:06 to play in the quarter. Bulldogs lead 12-0 over the Skyview Falcons. We'll be back in 60. At Bulldog Memorial Stadium in Butte, Ron Davis, Rick Carriger on KMZK 1240 AM in Billings and KBOW Butte. It's, just started the 4th quarter. Bulldogs leading 12-0, but the Falcons have it 1st and goal at the 5-yard line of the Bulldogs. The best drive of the night by the Falcons. This will be their 13th play of the drive. They started at their 20-yard line after the kickoff, following Mr. Berg's second field goal of the ball game. Falcons, 1st and goal. Give it to the fullback again, and Leacomb's going to go over the left side, keeps his legs chugging, he's in. What a great effort by that running back. Leacomb did a great job. He took that ball at the 5, and we're going to have a late flag. I think it's going to be a late hit on the Bulldogs, but Leacomb took that ball, and he did not stop. He just kept going and kept his legs chugging from 5 yards out and got her in for the score.
Yeah, you know, a picture-perfect fullback run. You know, I mean, he took on probably 3 hits there from the 5-yard line in and carried it in.
Well, the penalty is going to be against the Bulldogs in the end zone. It was after the touchdown, so the touchdown will count, but you're going to move the ball up. This way you go for 2, and it makes it a 12-8 ball game. We'll see what they decide.
I think they'll kick I don't know.
5-yard face mask.
It's on the kickoff.
So touchdown counts. Face mask in the end zone came in quite a bit later after everything was done. So they will kick the extra point, and doing it will be Connor Lebsock. Why not? He punts, he kicks, he throws, he plays free safety. Now we got a whistle and a stop and a flag.
It's encroachment. They'll go for 2 then, I would think.
So they stop it
Got too many guys on the field.
and march the Bulldogs back half the distance.
Yeah, 2 doesn't really do them any good.
Doesn't make
still
any
put
difference,
4
yeah.
down.
So they're going to go ahead and kick it anyways. Connor Lebsock will just move it up about a yard. Spotting the ball at about the 9 for the extra point. The snap is down. Kick is on the way. It's good. And this kick is good. We're 12-7 here at Bulldog Memorial Stadium as the Falcons score with 11:53 to go in the ball game. We'll be back in 60. Here where the Bulldogs lead by a score of 12-7 with 11:53 to play after the 13-play, 80-yard drive. Leaking from 5 yards out. Kick after is good. Pooch kick going to be taken by the Bulldogs up, guys, and here they come. It's going to be all the way out to about the 23-yard line, and that's where it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs at the 23. And Rick, this as you had said, is going to be a big series because the Bulldogs need to burn some clock up here. They need to go down score for Billings. They need to get a stop, get the ball back right away, and get another score.
Yeah, exactly. It's a big series for both schools right now because, I mean, if, Skyview, the one thing they would do is go 3 and out here, get a punt because they're moving the ball. The last series, 80 yards, 13, 14 plays. Butte High's got to go burn some clock up and get 2 or 3, 4 first downs.
Here they go to Hewlin. He goes to the outside. Hewlin's going to get spun down for a gain of about a yard and no more as he came off the left side, and coming up and getting a hold of him out there was number 54, Sammy Holt. And Holt's going to drag him down for a gain of 1, 2nd and 9. And Skyview has come out 1st and 2nd down. They're going back to their base 5-0, and they're running their 50 defense. And then on the 3rd, they're going back to 3 linemen. So this is where the Bulldogs can do some play action against that 50 defense.
I'm surprised they haven't done it yet. They're in the base 52 right here now.
And here comes the play action. And they're going to go long, and the Bulldogs look to go to Leyba, and there's nothing there. The ball thrown long. Leyba tried to go inside, the ball thrown the outside, and he kind of broke it off as the ball was thrown long, so it'll bring up a 3rd and about 9 for the Bulldogs.
I think you still should go play action there. Because kind of, Mike Hewlin, even though, with Skyview changing their defense, coming back in the base 50 on 1st and 2nd down, still, they're still playing Mike. They're honoring Mike's abilities, what he done the first half, 80-some yards. So you play action off, you might catch him sleeping.
Well, the Bulldogs go to the shotgun on 3rd and long. As they don't want to go 3 and out, they get it to Berg. Berg's going to look. Berg's got time. He goes over the top. He's got his receiver, and he can't hang on to it. There's Levi Luchin in plenty of room for a 1st down, but can't hang on to the ball at about the 37, 38-yard line, and the Bulldogs will have to punt it away. As Bolton comes in, he'll stand back at about the 10-yard line to kick it back, and going back to bring it out for the Skyview Falcons is 38, Mike Nguyen. So Bolton will wait for the snap. It's a good snap. Bolton gets it. Gets a kick away. It's a low kick, and it's going to be fair caught and then lost. And it's fumbled, and I believe the Falcons are going to hang on to it. Who got it? And we're waiting. It's Bulldog football. Butte High School comes away with a football.
Big break.
As Fellows comes off the pile.
Third fumble of the night for Scott.
And also coming off the pile for the Masters is getting credit for it, as they're giving Masters credit for it. Also coming off there was Dodge. So the Bulldogs will have it right at midfield on the 50
Yep.
by the muff return as the ball bounced off Mike Nguyen's hands, and the Bulldogs cover it at the 50.
Got to capitalize on this break.
Bulldogs leading 12-7. Berg under center. He pitches it back. Hewlin comes the outside. Hewlin gets outside. Hewlin's going to get around the corner. He's going to get run out of bounds at about the 41. And I'll tell you, every one of the Skyview Falcons coaches on the field, plus the guys next to us, wanted a hold out here on the outside on Leba and didn't get it.
Yeah. This is a play we were talking about when we were down in the end zone. I think Mike Hewlin runs toss sweep as well as anybody I've ever seen, and I think they need to let him run the perimeter on toss. Wouldn't be a surprise to see him go toss left right now.
Bring up a second and about 2 for the Bulldogs after the 8-yard gain. What'd you have for Hewlin that pick?
18-100.
18 for 100 yards. We have 2 runners over 100 yards in this slick night tonight, this winter evening. Like him for the Skyview Falcons and Hewlin for the Bulldogs. Second and 2. Bulldogs needing 2. Going to give it to Hewlin up the middle. Hewlin's going to get the first down as he goes over the 40 to about the 39. And the Bulldogs get first and 10 and keep the clock running. Clock down to 10:50. Now they'll stop it to reset the chains with the Bulldogs leading 12-7, looking for their first win of the season. Burgum was in on the stop for the Skyview Falcons as the linebacker comes up, makes the pop. Also there was Sam Holt and Justin Prevost. So the Bulldogs at the 39, following them fumble on the punt. Berg will split 3 guys to the top to the left. Alone in the backfield, Hewlin. Berg takes a snap, and he's going to lose the ball. It's fumble, and Skyview Falcons have it. It's a bad handoff, never went there, as Berg turned to hand it out and couldn't do it, nothing there. And the ball is going to be picked up out there on the flat. Number 89, it's Nathan Pardee who makes the stop, the recovery at the 40. So the Bulldogs gained 10 and gave the ball back.
Yeah, it was a good play by Skyview. Stayed in their base 50 there versus the formation, and then brought an inside linebacker blitz, and it kind of looked like it kind of hit mesh point there on the handoff, and that just couldn't get the handle there. Yep.
So the fumble recovery picked up by Skyview, trailing 12-7 with 10:25 to play. Skyview going to give it off again to their fullback, and he's going to move to the outside, and he's still going to the Bulldogs, unable to tackle. And it wasn't the fullback running that time. It's number 36 running for the Bulldogs that time.
Hildreth.
It's Hilliard, Carson Hilliard. And he's going to get it out to the 44-yard line. Gain of 4 brings up 2nd and 6. Bulldogs had him at the line of scrimmage, just not wrapping up. Easy to say up here where we're not cold.
Yeah, well,
they're
cold,
freezing down
they're
there.
getting tired, and both defenses have been on the field quite a bit in fourth quarter.
They're going to give it to the fullback. Fullback finds the gap. He's going to get the hole. He's over the 50, over into the Bulldog 44, across the Bulldogs 44-yard line. And he's going to get a nice gain before Fournier trips him up. But a big run again by the big fullback, Leakum. And right now, Falcons going to put some more points up here. Bulldogs only leading 12-7 with 10-12 to play in a ball game. So 10 minutes to go. Falcons need this score. Bulldogs have to get a stop.
You got to make tackles. Got to make those tackles count.
1st and 10. Lepsock, man in motion. He's going to give it on the counter play. Coming back this way, big opening. Counter man, stiff arm, takes him down. Coming up and pulling him down is going to be
Cody Kelly, wasn't it 26?
Yep, Kelly drags him down, but it's a gain of 10 and more down to the 32-yard line of the Bulldogs. So the counter pays off, and that's set up again from just pounding that fullback all night long.
And that's the key to the wing T offense, is establishing that fullback, and they've done that tonight. Now it's paying off for them on misdirection plays. 12-7,
Bulldogs lead, but Falcons threatening here. They're going to give it to the fullback. He goes outside. Lincoln's going to get about 2, maybe 3 yards down to the 29 of the Bulldogs. And the Bulldogs going to get a stop there by Fellows and Fournier. And so the Peterson in the ball game. He was the other guy. Couldn't figure out who else was there, but it's Clinton Peterson. And so it'll be a 2nd and 7 for the Falcons at the Bulldog 29, trailing 12-7. They're going back to that tight set, Rick.
Yeah, they're in a full house backfield. They're just going to run the fullback, counter off of it, ISO there.
And the fullback's going to get stood up at the line of scrimmage, drove back. He's going to get back to the 29, no more. It's going to bring up a 3rd and about 8 for the Skyview Falcons. Snow, wind continues to blow here at Bulldog Memorial on a cold winter night.
Interesting to see if they run a quarterback sweep. We haven't seen them run Connor Lebsock here the second half.
Not in the second half.
And, and this is a great, so how tight the defense is, this is a great offensive formation to run play action off the fullback, quarterback sweep off of it. Here they're spreading out this time. They're in the shotgun.
Connor Lebsock sets up in the shotgun. He stands back at the 35. And Lebsock's going to roll left. Now he's going to set up. He goes over the top to his tight end. And he can't hang on. Great defensive play. As the ball went to the tight end, Justin Prevost. And Kolop hit him hard and knocks it out of there.
Blake Kolop's made some big hits out there for Butte High tonight.
Peterson, too. We got flags down. What do we got going here? Well, I'll tell you what. They got there at the ball and put a big-time pop on. Peterson going to limp off. That's what they did. They slowed down because Peterson was slow getting up. But Peterson was there with Kolop, and they put a pop on Prevost. And that'll bring up a 4th down and about 8 for the Skyview Falcons, and they're going to go for it here. And they had the first down there if the Bulldog defenders not taking that ball out of the hands of the big tight end.
Yeah, and he looked to me like he went up and, he caught the ball at the highest point. He made a nice catch. It was just a good hit that knocked the ball loose.
So here they go. 4th and a bunch, rolling out, going the other way. Lebsock, he goes off to his guy, and it's tipped. It's incomplete. And a
nice
ball
coverage.
thrown a little short in the defense. They have a guy over him, a guy under him, so good coverage. So on 4th down, the Bulldogs will get it back. So the Bulldogs continue to lead here, 12-7 with 8:09 to play in the ball game. Bulldogs up by 5. Ball be spotted at about the 29-yard line. And right now for Butte High School, if you're sitting at home, you want to see a couple of first downs.
Yeah, you definitely. You don't want to go 3 and out right now because, Skyview, there's a lot of time on the clock, and they're moving the ball. It's just that we want to keep them off the field and prevent that from happening. So let's get a few first downs and change field position here.
Well, Euland's going to get a nice grab here. Mike Euland's going to fire ahead for a gain of about 5, maybe even 6, out near the 35-yard line. And Harmon, A.J. Harmon, again comes up from the corner to make the pop and the stop. And the Bulldogs will get 5 from Euland. Will bring up 2nd and 5. Quick pop to the right side.
I'd like to see him come back, between me and you, Ron. I just think Mike runs toss sweep real well. I'd like to see him come back to toss sweep, wide side here.
Bulldogs split 2 to the top, 2 to the bottom. Euland alone in the backfield again. Berg under center looking at 2nd and 5. Full face front. They're bringing everybody. They give it to Euland. He's going to find a gap. Euland keeps his legs chugging, and he'll get a first down out to the 40-yard line. And that was all Mike Euland. He went out that left side. He followed the blocks over there on the left side for the Bulldogs. It's Mac Furco and Don Fisher.
Yeah, they did a good job. They opened some holes. They're getting some movement up their front, and sustainable drive here. Burn some of the clock. Keep Mike running the football. He's having a good game. Let him carry the ball.
And for the Falcons, in on that stop was Nathan Pardee made the stop. It was 7 minutes to go. It's 12-7, Bulldogs leading, and they have the football at their 40. Euland alone in the backfield. He's going to get the handoff. Euland's going to try to go inside, and I'll tell you, he runs into a wall, but he won't go down. Keeps his legs chugging and does get a yard out of it. But the big guy on the outside putting a stop on him, and that was trying to think, was it Nathan Pardee, the big 89 and number 80 in on the stop as well for the Skyview Falcons. Trying to get Justin Prevost. What's he, 6'4", big kid.
Yeah, he's a good-looking kid.
And he was all over that one. They do give Euland 2 yards, though, as he hit the line and then just kept his legs moving. So 2nd and 8 for Butte High School.
Might boot off of this. It's a big play.
Matt Berg looking at a big front. He's going to hand it off. Euland on the ISO. Euland's going to get another run for a yard maybe out to the 43, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 7 for the Bulldogs with 6 minutes to go here in the ball games. Bulldog leading 12-7. So the Bulldogs be looking at 3rd and about 7. And again, it was Sam Holt on the stop, who's had a great game playing on that tackle spot for the Skyview Falcons. So the Bulldogs big play here, Falcons big play here. Both teams want to get something different. Bulldogs going to go to the shotgun. Hewlin back there with Berg. One to the top, two to the bottom. Tight end set. They're going to go to Berg. Berg has pressure. Berg rolls out. He has no place to go but get rid of it as he gets
Nice
tanned.
play there by
Great
the defensive end.
defensive play at number 84, Stephen Davis. Comes running through there, and Stephen Davis puts Berg on his keister as he had no time to do anything.
Nope. Great penetration by Steven.
So the Bulldogs will have to punt it away. So Bolton will stand at the 30 to kick it. And standing back is Nguyen, standing back at about the 28-yard line. Into the wind, and a strong wind it is out of the north, right into the face of Bolton. And we got a timeout, we got a whistle, things are stopping, timeout Bulldogs. 12-7 our score, 5:25 to play in the ball game. Bulldogs lead. We'll be back in 60. And back at Bulldog Memorial, 4th and 9, plenty of time. Lebsock drops back. He's going to get flushed out. He comes back to the left. Lebsock looks to throw. He's going to throw the long ball. He's got Bulldogs back there. He's got players that did a great job playing center field. And that was Bolton who came in for the second play in a row. Bolton comes over at the last second and knocks the ball down. And I'll tell you what, Skyview had a guy wide open in the end zone. And if it wasn't for Bolton coming in, the big tight end would have had himself a touchdown.
You know, it was a great play by Zach Bolton. He's done what he's taught. You know, he's a safety back, he's got to play center field, just key the quarterback and go to the ball, and he did a great job of it, knocking the ball away from being a touchdown.
I'll tell you, and the guy who's upset on the sidelines for the Falcons, the receiver who was out there in the flat, he's upset because he thought he should have got that on the tip, but it was a great play by Bolton. The Bulldogs, with 1:51. They're going to take it. Berg's going to hand it to Hewlin. Hewlin covers it with both hands, and he goes down right at the line of scrimmage. As I don't think the Bulldogs really need to get a first down. Falcons do have timeouts, and they're going to use them. So
2 timeouts left, don't they?
Yeah, 1:45 to play in a ball game. Skyview calls a timeout. Bulldogs leading 12-7. We'll be back in 30. The Butte High Bulldogs are sitting here with a 12-7 lead, looking their first win in the season in the eye. They do have the football. The 1:45 to go, and the Bulldogs, with 1:45 to go, they will need a first down with a timeout. So they're looking at 2nd and 10. Berg going to hand it off. They're going to give it to Hewlin. Hewlin's going to go left side. He's going nowhere. Hewlin's going to go down hard, and a big tackle made out there, again, by big number 84 for the Skyview Falcons, as making the stop, Stephen Davis. And the Bulldogs, again, a timeout by Coach Lebsock as he walks out to talk to his kids. We're going to keep it here because that one only took about 6 seconds. We're at 1:39. Bulldogs are going to be looking at 3rd and 10. And Rick, right now, if you're Butte High, do you put up a pass?
No.
You run it and punt it? What do you do?
You run it and punt the ball and play defense. You play good defense the whole game. The defense has kept you in here. Big plays on defense. You know, be conservative. You know, you throw the ball, you're through jeopardy of an interception. You know, run the ball. If you don't get the first down, punt it away. Make Skyview go a long ways for the touchdown.
We'll see what they do as Coach Lebsock comes off the field. His team trailing 12-7 to the Butte High Bulldogs with 1:39 to play on KMZK Billings and KBOW Butte. It's been a great game to have you along for as Coach Gray leaves the field. Bulldogs break the huddle. 3rd and 10. Need to get it over to about the 47. Hewlin in the backfield. Berg under center. 2 guys at the top, 2 guys at the bottom, and it's Mr. Hewlin. And it's exactly what you said, no gain. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and he'll be brought down by the interior line of the Skyview Falcons as they just do what they do best, and they're led in there again by big number 84, Mr. Stephen Davis.
Take your time.
The Bulldogs will just take their time here with 1:18, the clock running, and they just wind it. So the Bulldogs going to wait, and the Butte High coaches are going to wait until the clock gets down, and they'll call a timeout and then punt it away. But they're going to use every second they can. They've got a minute now on the clock. They're watching the guy winding the clock for on the play clock, and when he gets ready to blow it, they'll call a timeout.
8, 7.
Now the Bulldogs will call a timeout.
So I mean, it's a lot of pressure on, like you said, on your long snapper's the key, and then the punter's got to make sure he gets the ball off. It doesn't matter, just get the ball off. It doesn't have to be a picture perfect punt. Just get the ball off and play defense.
Well, Mike Nguyen's already had one ball that's bounced off his face mask, And I'm sure he's staying back. They're bringing everybody. He's not even going to get back to return the punt. He's staying only about 15 yards off the line. They're coming after him. Bolton really deep. Here he comes. The return guy's coming up. He's the guy that's going to try to block it. The Bulldogs waiting. Bulldogs waiting. Snap is back. Good snap. Bolton gets it away. There's nobody back there. Bolton gets a good kick. Takes out. It dies right there. And they're going to down it at about the 23. They could actually let that sit and let the official down it and let the clock run a little bit more. But the stop's at 46.5 seconds. And the Skyview Falcons will have it at about their own 23-yard line, needing to go 77 for the winning score. Bulldogs leading 12-7. Bulldog faithful on their feet, screaming and hollering. So the Bulldogs are going to get everybody a little deep here. Falcons come out in the shotgun. Connor Lebsack stands back at about the 18. He looks. Lebsack has pressure. He comes out running. Lebsack is going to get out of bounds at about the 31. And Lebsack goes down at about the 31-yard line with 39 seconds on the clock. So it looks like a gain of about 7, maybe 8. Last thing, if you're Bulldogs, you want to get with a late hit there. There's a look that maybe there might have been something late out of bounds. Got to be careful there.
I think I'd bring a little pressure here, keep him from running the ball. I mean, he's a good athlete. I remember back from a playoff game years ago with a guy named Karantos in a playoff game. Make sure you pressure him a little bit. Make him throw the ball when he doesn't want to.
Well, and he throws the ball, and it goes through the hands of the intended receiver, incomplete. And the guy can't hang on to it. It's a little too high. So to bring up a 3rd and 1 from about the 31-yard line with 33 seconds to go in the ball game, and the Bulldogs leading 12-7.
Skyview's got to think about getting the first down here.
Skyview 2 of 14 on the passing side of things, and just not their completion's been to Prevost, their big tight end. And right now, they need a first down before they need anything. So it's 3rd and about, a little longer than a yard, maybe 2. Out of the shotgun, Lebsack's going to roll to the right. Lebsack with time. Lebsack's going to run it up. Lebsack's going to get hit from behind. He'll get the first down, but he's going down at the 35, and the clock ticks down.
First down should stop it.
It should have stopped it. It's a 22.6. So they got to set the chains. And the Falcons are ready to go. The clock's going. And Skyview takes the snap, and they down it. With 16.9 seconds, the ball at the 35. It'll be 2nd and 10. No timeouts left for the Falcons. So right now, they got to come in with a couple of big plays, and they got to march a little distance here, Rick, looking at 65 yards for a score. So right now, the Bulldogs leading 12-7. With exactly 16.9 seconds to left, the Skyview Falcons need to go 65 yards in 16.9. Falcons out of the shotgun. They break the huddle. No timeouts left. Lebsack takes the snap. Lebsack rolls around. He looks. He's going underneath, and he makes his throw underneath, and the receiver's going to get out of bounds at about the 42, 43-yard line. So with 9 seconds left, they pick up about, let's say 6, 7 yards on the play.
Yeah.
3rd and about 3. We'll give them 7. But right now, for Skyview, with 9 seconds left, you got to be looking downfield. There's a Skyview parent was over screaming at the guys running the clock in the official booth. And the official clock's on the field. It's not the one on the board. There's a clock on the field.
They reset the clock. I thought it was late. It was 11 seconds. They didn't get it stopped.
So they have 11 on the clock. And back to the field where the play should be. As Lebsack turns, he looks, he throws it down the field. The Bulldogs are there. It's intercepted. Barnett is going to intercept it for the Bulldogs. Barnett is going to go down, and he's going to be tackled and goes down at midfield, and the ball game's over. Barnett with the interception, and the Butte High Bulldogs will get their first win of the season with a 12-7 victory here over the Skyview Falcons at Bulldog Memorial. And this one's in the books. The Bulldogs